welcome to Rare Whiskey Day.
Rare Whiskey Day.
Yeah, I just went real Texan for some reason. Not really sure why that was.
If you are new to Rare Whiskey Day, Rare Whiskey are basically these whiskey brands that don't really have a tremendous amount of distribution. Everybody isn't going to be able to pick this up locally. But if you're fortunate enough to have one of these whiskeys in your area, then we're going to dive into it. Give first impressions. First impressions. Hopefully we find something amazing. If not, then we saved you money and time. I don't know, man. Just watch the show.
This is like one of those voicemails that somebody left that started out great and then ended, and then you're going to spend a whole episode trying to recover the tape before they hear it.
Right.
This is a gift from the girl in charge, responsible, the owner of this company.
Corinne Luna. Oh, this is a rep.
Yeah, well, not the rep, the owner. Corinne Luna Ostaseski.
So a Corinne Luna Ostaseski, this is basically the rep of reps. If you own the company, you're super rep.
Yeah,
I think we have to do
Queen rep.
I think we have to do the rep ceremony, which
is the awkward.
It's much less magnificent.
Yeah. Thanks for the.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's drink it.
So somebody gave it 96 points in 2016.
So her goal. Now here's why I love her story, and I really want to like this whiskey. Yeah, so I'm going into it a little.
The Corinne Luna Ostaseski. Ostaseski.
Yeah.
Seski.
Karen. Corinne or Corinne.
Luna. We'll go with Luna.
Luna.
We can do Luna.
Calling you Luna. Now on. Okay, so I really want to like this because I love her story.
Okay.
So she had a bad breakup, and she took the money that she was going to spend on counseling and spent it on whiskey.
What?
I know!
Oh, I want to give her a magnificent bastard.
I know!
That's such a magnificent bastard.
I know! And she fell in love with whiskey. And so, because she was new to whiskey, she ended up with a 300 bottle collection. And she was like, okay, whiskey's the thing. Now, what she wanted to create was a gateway Scotch.
Yeah.
But for the people who think Scotch just equals smoky whiskey.
Which is ironic because it's the minority of whiskey coming out of Scotland.
Right.
But it's what people predominantly think of when they think of Scotch.
So this is a 60% grain base with 40% malt. And the malt is split between Speyside, Highland, and Islay.
43% alcohol.
Now, you know what else she did? Mm-hmm. To fund this, she did a Kickstarter.
Oh.
Successful Kickstarter.
Really? So you can kickstart whiskeys?
Yeah, she brought in like $45,000.
Right on.
To create this. She worked with Douglas Lang.
Yeah.
Which, we love.
Sure, yeah.
And that's who created this with her.
Yeah.
And then she released it.
Okay, so on the nose, I'm going to tell you exactly what I think is going on here, which is interesting. I haven't had this before. Are you ready?
Yes.
On the nose.
Yes.
This is a combination of caramel, butterscotch, and that craft hay barn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that craft note that we very often get is like that fresh hay barn note, and it's kind of lower on the list, but it's combined with this caramel and butterscotch.
It reminds me of
these are complementing
Glenfarclas. So this is very pretty. I'm having a hard time picking up any of the Islay right now, but that's because I think the shiny grain, slight brittleness at the base is taking over what I would have thought was the Islay. I think it's the grain.
I suspect if there's any, I said there's Islay in here. I suspect it's not presenting as a smokiness as much as it is just a slight earthiness that can also be really kind of close to that hay note.
Now I think that's coming from the Speyside Highlands.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh yeah,
it's just velvety.
It's velvet with a little bit of pepper. Yeah, like not enough where you're like, oh, pepper, but enough where it keeps it from being purely sweet.
So like a malty hay.
Yeah.
A malty hay, and then I don't find any of the Islay right now.
No, it's very pretty. It's not going to change your life as far as being on the most remarkable thing. Right. But if her goal was to get people into Scotch, this is the right blend.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, absolutely. Very, very friendly, but it's not one note. There's a few things going on.
Yeah, it's complex.
Right.
At a certain, it's not as simplified as budget blends.
Go back to the nose, and the nose changes now.
Yeah,
now,
it got more musty.
It did. Well, more. So you're talking about hay?
Yeah,
I'm saying it's getting further from the hay.
And you're getting sweeter?
And I'm getting more into what I expect from like traditional Highland scotches.
Yeah, so this would fit well if you're trying to use Glenfiddich.
Yeah.
Or something like that to bring somebody into Scotch.
Right.
As a blend, it would fit well in that category.
And then, even at that relatively low proof, it swells up and envelops and just saturates the palate with these nice flavors. It's mostly going to be a sweet whiskey. It's going to be on the sweet end of the spectrum, but there are some layers to that sweetness that are really nice.
It's simple, but it's pretty.
I like it. No. We just got finished saying it's complex.
No, but not. Well, I should say, it's right in the middle because it's not.
There's enough there.
My third sip.
What I was saying was
it sort of became a one note.
What I was saying is there's enough there to keep it from getting boring. I wouldn't.
I agree with that.
I wouldn't categorize it as a complex whiskey. I would say, yeah, there's enough there to keep your attention.
Interesting.
It's
simple but interesting.
All right. There's no comments, so I'm waiting on
No, because it's donation.
Johnny on the spot.
All right, moving on to one. Move your glass out of the way.
And you want to be my monocle butler.
We're moving, not yours.
Yeah,
that'd be Derek's.
That's what I heard. The way I have Chad edit that, it'll be
this is trippy.
You butlering me.
Yeah, it's like the Seinfeld TV show they're trying to write. All right, so this is from Mark Shilling.
Mark Shilling, you magnificent. Wait,
wow, that was like, whoa. Slow down, man.
Usually it's in gear, and then we hit the accelerator. And that one, we were in neutral. I hit the accelerator.
Then you try to drop it in.
Then I hit the gear. Yeah. Mark Shilling, you magnificent bastard.
Fight.
Okay, so this is actually not whiskey. This is a spirit.
Okay.
But what I like the story of this one too, because what happened was these two guys who run a sourced rum, they're an independent bottler of rum. So they're in Kentucky.
Oh.
They source rum.
Yes.
And release independent releases, which is really cool.
Sure.
And that is what's their company? Rolling Fork, and it's Jordan Morris and Turner Wathan.
How do you roll a fork?
Very carefully.
It's like the least rollable.
Stay away from the prong end.
It's the least rollable of all the utensils.
Looks like you roll it up in a napkin for fancy dining.
Oh, so it needs to be supplemented by a napkin.
Yeah, rolled forks. I don't know. We're just making that up. It could be rolling fork, like the rolling of the river and a fork in a river.
I no longer care.
Yeah. So what happened was they were sourcing some whiskeys. They had rye.
Yeah.
And then they had all their rum, 12-year-old Trinidad rum.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to be doing a blend.
Yeah.
And what happened was somebody screwed up.
Okay.
And accidentally dumped one of the rye barrels into the rum tank.
Okay. All right.
Which is going to be a bad... I'm asking me a day when an employee's like, oh no.
Do I still have a job?
Oh no, what have I done? I dumped rye into the 12-year-old Trinidad rum.
Right.
And they tasted it.
Right.
And decided, crap, you know what?
So what is
it? It was 5-year-old rye mixed with rum.
What is the category?
It's a distilled spirit specialty.
Okay. Just distilled spirit.
Yeah.
An abomination of liquor.
Cask strength rye and 12-year-old rum.
Okay.
Now, I know I'm getting rum.
Yes, we are in rum territory. And I have very limited rum experience. A couple of MBs have sent me some rum bottles. Thank you. Just to start, getting, my reference points in that category. And I've really enjoyed some stuff. But what I'm finding in here that's very rummy is going to be this really sweet almond.
Yeah, and like molasses and butter.
Yeah. And then there's there's a element.
Weird little spiky note.
Well, I'm not getting to the spiky note yet. There's an element of like a cream soda.
It still tastes like rum. It tastes like spicy rum.
But it's beautiful rum.
Oh, it's tasty.
Yeah.
But I'm not getting the rye.
I'm not getting like any sharp ding spiky bit at all.
I mean, if I was really trying to hunt for it, I would be like, oh, I totally get the rye.
You're talking about
yeah.
No, you're talking about maybe a little bit of like a spice.
Yeah. I would say if you poured me this and told me it was just rum, I would never pick up the fact that there was a rye dumped into this.
And with spice, I say like 10%.
Now, keep in mind, I don't have a lot of experience with rum.
That's really nice, though, man. That sweet,
it's very tasty.
That sweet almond, cream, and there's probably a better note than like cream soda, but with my limited reference points in rum, that's what it's presenting as to me. Now, this is
the most interesting rum I've ever tried, except for I really like the dark sweet rums like Ron Zacapa.
Oh, now I'm getting like this oak note.
This is good.
Finish with this, not at all tanniny, but just a really nice, sweet, rounded off oak note.
I wonder what happened on that day.
Damn.
Like, I wonder if there was any yelling.
They fired him, and then they taste it.
And then like, oh, all right, bring him back.
They taste it, and then they promote him.
Yeah. Can you promote somebody for a mistake?
You screw up in all the right ways. He's good luck.
Yeah. It's like Mr. Bean.
Right.
He screws up, but it always works out in the end.
It's like a brain-damaged rabbit. Just good luck to have him around. But he's really dumb.
A brain-damaged rabbit. All right. This is Bill Parrott.
Speaking of brain-damaged rabbits.
I don't know why. Sorry. I just felt like a funny.
It's all him. Bill Parrott, you magnificent bastard.
Fight.
I don't even know Bill, but Bill sent us some stuff before. Sorry, Bill, I wasn't trying to disparage you. It just felt like a funny segue.
Oh, interesting.
Now, this is Union Horse Distilling.
Very much back in whiskey territory. Mm-hmm. Very, middle of the road. No
this is Kansas.
Oh.
Distilled, aged, and bottled.
This is reminding me of Daniel.
Batch 22, bottle 149.
The proof, because that's my job.
Look at the proof.
46% alcohol.
Yeah, everyone needs a job.
Daniel, this on the nose is reminding me very much of Buffalo Trace.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know, man.
You don't think so?
I'm going to pour it.
Okay. Okay. Was that the Buffalo Trace?
No, Buffalo Trace is way more fruity. Like melon fruity.
It was Eagle Rare. I was way off. It was Eagle.
No, we're not doing that.
Dude, I'm telling
now you're just roaming around looking for whiskey to have.
No, there's very popular whiskey. There's a lexicon.
We've got too many more whiskeys
I was referencing the lexicon. Let me try the Eagle Rare. Where is the Eagle Rare?
I'll
just nose it. Just point me where it is. I'll just nose it. Because I'm talking about the nose.
This is up to 5 years.
Son of a bitch.
In Missouri.
I'm not kidding about Eagle Rare.
He found it. Damn it, he found it. Just nose it.
Okay, here we go.
In the bottle. You're doing it like a Glencairn. No. No.
Yeah.
No.
Close. Just to make sure we should.
No. That's not right. No, God. Oh, I'm sorry. Anybody who gets this Eagle Rare after the fact.
No, I'm not wrong.
No, you are wrong.
Screw you, Daniel. Pour yourself a little Eagle Rare.
Okay, so here's the cool thing to me.
Yeah.
Which is...
You gotta rinse that.
I know. This is 80% corn.
Yeah.
20% rye.
Yeah.
Right, no, it's mine. Give that back.
80% corn.
And 20% rye. There's no malted barley in this mix. They're using enzymes for the conversion.
So...
For fermentation.
Close. Same ballpark. We're like 85% of the way there.
Yeah. I concede. 80. At least 80. Yeah. Right. Crap.
Yes,
a 5-year-old whiskey from Union Horse in Kansas.
It's an oaky note.
Stood up to Eagle Rare.
It's a really nice oak note that immediately made me think of first the wrong whiskey and then Eagle Rare. You're right. I don't remember Buffalo Trace being that fruity. I thought there was a much more prominent wood note in there.
No, the Buffalo Trace comparatively has this like a honeydew melon note in the nose.
No, Eagle Rare was it.
This is just, man. Can I tell you how excited I am about the future of craft whiskey?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Like, just cool shit's going on.
Okay, so we squarely in the lane of bourbon, but the way this is actually balancing with the bourbon notes that you're going to find in a lot of different whiskeys is really, really nice. First, the oak note that's not tanniny. Very often in bourbon, you're going to get an oak that's just a little bit too hot, a little bit too pointed. This beautifully presents that wood without just the tanniny downsides.
That's a go toe-to-toe with any big boy bourbon company you've ever had whiskey. Right?
Yeah, and then
and not carving out any new territory.
The brown sugar. The brown sugar is beautiful. The cherry, I'm not finding any apple.
This is from Christopher and Gina Griepp.
I saw Chris Griepp, I think, was in the Facebook group today.
Yeah.
We were busting balls there.
Yeah.
Christopher and Gina Griepp, you magnificent bastard.
Fight.
So, I like the story because this is, how do you pronounce it? Vikre, I think it is.
Vikre?
Vikre.
Okay.
Vikre Distillery
Sure.
in Duluth,
Okay.
right? Minnesota. And what happened was they're friends with this other couple.
Okay.
And they just sort of hit all the mile. They say on their website they hit all the mile markers together. They got married.
Yeah.
Then they both had kids. Then this one couple started a brewing company, the
Right.
Bent Paddle Brewing Company. So they started a distillery. And this is them distilling the black, which is a beer made by the Bent Paddle Brewing people.
Okay.
And it's a malt whiskey. It's all malt, but that's just, a traditional beer.
Yeah.
Now,
So,
yeah, there it is.
there's the beer.
There's the beer.
That is super beery. Which is
They do a whole bunch of other things. They do gin. They even do aquavit.
malty beer enthusiasts. If you love like microbrew maltiness and that whole scene, there are a handful, probably several, but I've at least had a handful of whiskeys that have beer origins, and then they get into whiskey, but they very much hang on to a lot of the notes they love in beer. They're able to carry those over through the whiskey creation process. There's a video that's related on our other channel, Whiskey Tribe. Can a
brewery make good whiskey? Or
can a beer brewery make good whiskey?
We can't remember
We'll
the
link
title
it up
of
here.
it.
It's linked up here.
I love that they mentioned Honey Nut Cheerios in their own tasting notes.
So I'm kind of getting that sweet, oaty, malty, grainy,
But there's a flower, like a floral note to that too.
I'm not disliking it though.
No, me either. Normally when you say beer,
yes,
I check out.
Usually because it's just not what I look for in a whiskey. It's just not there. This is interesting in the sense that there's very clear connections to a beer inception point but then it pulls into whiskey and it has enough just really nice whiskiness.
Oh, lost me on the taste. Tastes like a good beer.
I like the nose better.
As a beer,
Right.
I would be really excited about that.
Right.
As a whiskey,
Yeah.
I'm out.
Well, no, I'm actually giving it. Go get the other thing. I'm going to give notes on the taste because I like the nose better.
It tastes like we said the nose did, which was the molassesy, honey nut.
Okay.
I get all the things I said.
Hold on. On the taste, though, there's a beautiful thing happening on the finish. On the finish. The finish has the nutland.
Nutland?
Remember, it's the Westland.
Oh, yeah.
The Westland
The
nuttiness.
Nutland, yeah.
The Westland nuttiness. The finish has that Westland nuttiness that is rare, but I love it when I find that.
Yeah, but in Westland it presents as coffee. And this one is just all candied nuts.
This is a really sweetened, malty beery with a nut finish. I'm sorry.
It really is. Just let that one sit. Just let it sit.
Don't even cut away, Chad. Just let it hang in the air there. Just let it dangle right in front of our faces.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to do something from Theressa Smith.
No, it's Theressa Canadian Whiskey Smith.
Yeah, that's her thing.
Theressa Canadian Whiskey Smith.
Patron saint.
Patron saint of whiskey.
No one ever gets my spinning because there's a graphic.
Well, you notice though, I said this in a recent episode, and then Chad made sure to cut away from the graphic earlier, so we got your final spin.
Oh,
We got the final
I
spin.
missed that because I didn't watch the finished episode.
People need to appreciate the moves.
This is a Texas whiskey.
Yeah? Okay.
This is from Nick and Nikki Jessett. This is a distillery that is on the Texas Whiskey Trail.
Oh, okay, right on. So Texas Whiskey Trail. We're looking for options, looking for opportunities to do the transparency thing. Mm-hmm. We are in our private venture also a member of the Texas Whiskey Association. We don't have a direct partnership with, these people, but we're in the same association with these people. But I don't think I've met them or known them or tried their whiskey before.
What I like it, so they took over rice silos in Katy, Texas, started converting it into a distillery, making whiskey. And this is their corn whiskey, and the reason they had to call it corn whiskey, well, so that means it's at least 80% corn, but that's also because they use used bourbon barrels. So they aged it intentionally in used oak to try to buy some time and some flavor.
Sure, it was just the name of the game.
From the Texas heat.
It's interesting the way Texas distilleries are trying to buy more time in the barrel. I know Iron Root is doing a different method where they're proofing
in barrel,
just like a drop at a time over an extended period of time, proofing in the barrel, which is a very French technique. They are doing used barrels, which we are absolutely a fan of.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Now this is, so my only real reference point for corn whiskey is two things: mellow corn, which is surprisingly good, and Iron Root. So I have not had another corn whiskey, and this is nothing like Iron Root.
It's nothing like mellow corn.
It's really not.
From what I remember mellow corn being. I'm not even sure where the corn whiskey section is. All right, then we're out of glasses.
I've got one.
Is it different?
See, this is 4 years old, mellow corn.
Yeah.
From what I remember, and
yeah,
because it's bottled in bond. It has to be.
This is more similar than I was expecting.
Yeah, but there's more of a, yes, I agree.
Yeah.
First, but there's more of a dramatic grain note to the MKT, but it's still subtle.
Yeah. So nice, sweet corn.
Oh no, try it.
The taste?
So much more interesting. So if you've had mellow corn and you thought, man, it's bland, MKT is in the same family, but way more interesting in the flavor profile.
So I'm not going to say way more interesting. I'm going to say there's a nice subtle layer of oak. I get a little bit of a peanut.
The wood definitely has a higher impact.
The sweet corn is in there.
Yeah.
So I think these two are probably like 75-80%.
You know what? And let me back up.
But
what I like about this
is
it just shows how small changes in the single state of grain and style of aging make huge differences in outcome. I mean, like I said, Iron Root is the only corn whiskey I know.
Sure.
These could not be in more different categories.
The one you know inside and out.
Yes.
Okay. I'm assuming this is going to be all yellow dent.
I have no idea, but it's very possible.
I think it's going to be all yellow dent. And the variation in corn is going to get the most dramatic whenever you get into different, like, what's it called? Different lines of corn? Different types of corn?
Yeah.
Genus? I don't know. Different kinds of corn. Because you got like the Bloody Butcher, and the yellow purple, and all this other stuff. And then when we were at Iron Root,
I would pour this for an Irish whiskey drinker.
Okay. When we were at Iron Root, they would be making whiskeys with just a 5% difference in the kind of corn going in there.
Changed everything.
Everything.
Go back and think Irish whiskey.
Yes, minus shortbread cookie.
Yeah, minus the shortbread cookie and a little more barrel spice.
Yeah. Oh, right on. All right, cool.
Right?
Yeah.
So, Irish whiskey with a little more barrel impact and none of the shortbread buttered cookie.
We are actually reviewing these and not doing first impressions.
I know, right? And that's a long video. We're done.
Oh, good. Okay, here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight, may you fight for a friend.
If you steal, may you steal a lover's heart.
And if you drink, may you drink with us.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us in the Whiskey Vault. Don't forget to throw in a like, hit that subscribe button on the bottom right, and drop a question or comment down below.